Oklahoma is known for its wind. Rodgers and Hammerstein famously wrote a song about it in the musical Oklahoma in 1942. 3 decades later, the winds of change would come sweeping down the plains of South Oklahoma City. These winds first started blowing in February of 1968 as state legislators and civic leaders began discussing the idea of a college in South Oklahoma City.
But it was due to the fact that some of what I considered the most knowledgeable people in education in Oklahoma were telling me that that was a need that had to be filled, because it was going to mean that young people who had not had a chance before would have a chance to accomplish a higher education.
On March 20th, 1969, a bill was introduced into the legislature to form a college district. Following a massive petition drive, voters approved in fall 1969. As a direct result of the interest and initiative of these citizens, a junior college district was formed and a board of trustees was appointed in 1970.
We had a good board and we hired a good president.
Dr. J.C. Nichols was hired as the first college president for a college with no location, no instructors, and no staff. Extensive planning led to Governor David Hall announcing in 1971 that farmland near Southwest 74th and May would become South Oklahoma City Junior College. John E. Cleek stepped in as president, and groundbreaking for the college took place October 24th, 1971. Construction began January 13th of 1972, and as construction was being completed at a breakneck speed, students were already enrolling for fall classes by the spring of 1972.
Well, it was a real radical time for the country and for kids, and we were all kids at that time. And so the college kind of fit in because it was a mastery system, it was open classroom.
South Oklahoma City Junior College opened for classes on September 25th, 1972 with an enrollment of 1,049 students. The first campus building was 65,000 square feet of underground space with movable partitions to allow for classrooms to be created and moved at any time.
It wasn't a problem at all. It was part of that unique philosophy that we were trying to change education in many ways, and if the place looked different than other colleges, to me that was just fine. I liked very much having low partitions around my office so that students knew when I was there and felt free to come up and hang over the wall and talk about anything, including subject matter.
On October 8, 1972, the college was formally dedicated. In 1973, construction began on the college's main building, with completion in 1974. 5 students made up the first graduating class in the spring of that year.
We just had a lot of fun, made a lot of friends, and really learned a lot, and it was a good beginning. And it was unusual because I'd never been in an open classroom situation before, but it worked quite well.
And it was exciting because we had more enthusiasm, I think, than we had experience and knowledge of what we were doing, but everybody wanted to learn.
Also in 1974, Hugh Turner was named the 3rd college president, and a board of regents was appointed as the governing unit for the school. Dale Gibson became the college's 4th president in the fall of 1974. In 1975, the first edition of The Pioneer, the college's student newspaper, was published. Growth and changes continued for the next few years. The Career Learning Center was dedicated in 1978. In 1979, the college enrolled its 6,000th student, and the first Arts Festival Oklahoma was held on campus. The Arts and Humanities building was completed in 1983. That year, South Oklahoma City Junior College had an annual enrollment of about 8,000 students.
When I became the president pro tempore of the Senate some years later, I was in a position to be able to have some influence on where the capital improvement monies were going to be spent, and as a result of being in a position to do so, I was able to make a lot of people agree that we needed to have quite a few dollars appropriated for the construction of a lot of the buildings that were built back in the early 80s.
And Donald Newport became the 5th president. 1983 also ushered in a new name, as South Oklahoma City Junior College became Oklahoma City Community College. In the mid-'80s, the Child Development Center, the College Union, the Wellness Center, and Physical Plant were built. In 1988, Kenneth Walker became OCCC's 6th president.
Regent Dean Corder just said, "That was easy."
And the college's aquatic center was built in time for the 1989 U.S. Olympic Festival. In 1990, the Health Technology Center, the Nursing Division, and new computer labs were built. In 1991, the college's 7th president, Bobby Gaines, was inaugurated, and the college was granted a full 10-year accreditation. In the fall of 1992, the same year as the college's 20th anniversary, OCCC broke the 10,000 enrollment mark with 10,200 students attending classes that year.
Right around here, I think it was like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving in '71, and heard what Oklahoma City Community College was all about, going to be all about. I said, that's where I want to be, and primarily because it's talking about success and talking about people accomplishing things and not punishing people.
The medallion and chain are symbols of the office of president.
In 1995, Dr. Robert P. Todd was sworn in as OCCC's 8th president.
I will faithfully fulfill my responsibilities to the Board of Regents, to this faculty and staff, to the students, to the people of this community, and to the state of Oklahoma.
In 1996, the Keith Lefwich Memorial Library officially opened to students and to the community. By 1997, the internet was in full force, and OCCC offered its first ever online course. After serving more than 10 years as president and more than 30 years serving the college, President Todd resigned his post in September of 2005. Dr. Paul Sechrist was named to lead the college and became the 9th president. In 2007, OCCC began an historic expansion, adding 3 new buildings to the campus infrastructure. The Robert P. Todd Science, Engineering, and Math Center provided new classrooms and labs. The Health Professions Education Center allowed for the expansion of programs in emergency medical sciences, registered nursing, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. The 50,000 square foot Visual and Performing Arts Center added classrooms, labs, and studios for art instruction, music, photography, and visual arts. In 2009, OCCC hit record enrollments of more than 20,000 students and became the 4th largest college in the state for number of enrolled students. In 2010, OCCC dedicated the new Family and Community Education, or FACE Center, in March. In the fall of that year, OCCC broke ground on the new 1,100-seat Visual and Performing Arts Center Theater, set to be one of the premier venues in the metro area, designed to host major cultural events for OCCC's community and its students. In 2012, OCCC hosted the official grand opening for the Capitol Hill Center as an extended campus location at the Capitol Hill United Methodist Church. But the renovation of a building to house the expanding Capitol Hill Center began in July of 2014 at the location of 2 historic buildings, previously Katz Drug Company and Langston's Western Wear. President Sechrist retired in 2015, concluding 10 years of service as the college's president.
Please welcome the 10th president of Oklahoma City Community College, Jerry L. Stewart.
Dr. Jerry Stewart succeeded him as the 10th president of Oklahoma City Community College on July 2nd, 2015.
When I initially became acquainted with President Stewart was during my early days in the legislature. The constant with me with him has always been OCCC.
2016 was a year of placemaking for OCCC students at its main campus.
This is an important day in the history of Oklahoma City Community College.
It dedicated the Student Veterans Lounge on May 16th. Additionally, the college completed renovation of its student advising area in October of 2016. The new Capitol Hill Center was formally dedicated on August 18th, 2017. Yes, The winds of change have blown strong through what was once a rolling pasture to what now serves more than 28,000 students each year. Oklahoma City Community College, 45 years of change.
What I'm proudest of now, though, is what exists here today. I'm amazed by it. When I walk through this building, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I mean, this was an old 143-acre pasture that was so terrible that it wouldn't even grow sharp cucumber. And what is here now is just amazing to me. All these gorgeous buildings, just mind-boggling, and I'm just totally excited about it and proud of it.
I think there's a bright future.